All right, everybody. Welcome to the video for lesson number 9, seeing structure and some advanced factoring. So today in class, we learned that we can use all the same factoring methods that we have, but we can use them when we see things that look slightly different, like number 1. So for number 1, I see this something squared plus 3 times something minus 10 expression. Well, I can change that something to a different variable, like y. All this does for me is it makes it so that I have something that is familiar to me. I know how to factor y squared plus 3y minus 10. So I know that 5 and negative 2 give me negative 10, but add to pot make 3. Well, now all I have to do is replace y with what I substituted it for. So instead of y, I'm going to put x plus 3. And then combine up some like terms. And I'm all set. I can do the same thing with number 2. So instead of this 2x squared minus 7x, I'm going to say, well, let's just make y that. So really what I'm doing is I'm factoring this expression, which is y minus 4. That should have been a 4. And y plus 3. But instead of y, I have this 2x squared minus 7x. And then I have to keep asking myself that same question over and over again. Can I still factor? So I have to use the AC method here. So it multiplies to make negative 8, but adds to make negative 7. So I'll break this out to 2x squared minus 8x plus x minus 4. GCF the two pieces, so 2x gives me x minus 4. 1 gives me x minus 4. And I'm left with x minus 4 and 2x plus 1. Those two factors came from that first parenthesis. All right. Second parenthesis, 2 times 3 makes 6. So what multiplies to make 6, but adds to make negative 7. So that's going to be 2x squared minus 6x minus x plus 3. 2x is my GCF, leaving me with x minus 3, negative 1, x minus 3. So then my other two factors are going to be 2x minus 1 and x minus 3. Same idea. We go from there. Number 3, I have something squared minus 1. So I have y squared minus 1. I'm just replacing that something, y plus 1, y minus 1. So then I get x squared minus 3x plus 1 plus 1, and x squared minus 3x plus 1 minus 1. I'm just replacing stuff here. And then if we just combine up some like terms here, I get x squared minus 3x, x squared minus 3x plus 2. I have those backwards, but we see one came from the other. The GCF here is x, because remember we want to keep factoring. I can factor that to a minus 2 and a minus 1. For number 8, we're using the AC method here. So it multiplies to make negative 8, but adds to make positive 7. So that 8x to the 6th is going to stay. I want to make a positive 8x cubed and a negative x cubed so that I can get that negative 8 and a positive 7. So that works. GCF here is 8x cubed, leaving me with just x cubed plus 1. Negative 1, x cubed plus 1, those match, so our grouping here is good. We have x cubed plus 1 as one parenthesis and 8x cubed minus 1 as the other. Sum on difference of two cubes, so we have x plus 1, x squared minus x plus 1. I have 2x minus 1, and I have 4x squared plus 2x plus 1. If you don't know how I'm factoring those two things, look back at a few lessons when we did sum and difference of cubes. Number 5 says, how is exercise number 2 related to n squared minus n minus 12? Well, all I can say here is instead of 2x squared minus 7x, I replaced it with n. Number 6 says to factor this expression completely. This is just a review question, some grouping. 4x squared, we get 2x plus 1, and negative 9, 2x plus 1. So that becomes 2x plus 1 as one factor, and 4x squared minus 9, but we're not done. The reason why we're not done is 4 and 9 are perfect squares, so I can make that 2x plus 3 and 2x minus 3. Number 7 says to express this product in standard form. So we could go through and do this product in standard form. So if we make our boxes x and 5, 2x squared, 7x and negative 10, I get 2x cubed, 10x squared, 7x squared, which is going to give me a 17x squared, 35x, negative 10x, which is going to combine to give me 25x, and negative 50. So I have 2x squared, not squared, cubed, plus 17x squared plus 25x minus 50. Review question for your quiz coming up. Number 8 says determine if this is a factor using long division. So let's just practice that long division method. So I have 2x cubed plus 19x squared plus 32x minus 21. I need to put 2x squared here so that this would match. That's going to give me plus 14x squared. Remember, change the subtraction, so that's going to bring down a 5x squared and a 32x. Well, to make that, I need 5x. So that's 5x squared and 35x. Change to subtraction. Negative 3x and negative 21 gives me a minus 3. So we wind up getting the same thing here, meaning no remainder. No remainder means this is a factor. So I could say x plus 7 is a factor because the remainder is 0. And we'll talk a lot more about that as we move on in this class. Now, just for fun, what if this said synthetic division, or what if it just said determine without doing any of this here, and it just said use division or whatever? Well, synthetic division is something we did, right? We spent a day on it. So we could bring them 2, multiply together, so I have negative 14, which makes a 5. Multiply the 2 together, negative 35, which makes a negative 3. Multiply the 2 together, which makes the 21, giving us the remainder of 0. These three numbers, remember the first one is the constant, the next one is the x term, and the one after that is the x squared term, so you can kind of just keep going with your terms, kind of write them backwards. So again, depending on how they ask the question, you could use either method you want. Okay. Hopefully this video helped you. Hopefully you're starting to study for your big quiz coming up, which is on everything we've learned so far this year. Good luck.